Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. I'm Evan James with Evan James WX, and today we're going to be taking a look at today's forecast here, tomorrow's forecast, and what the future has to hold when it comes to the new patterns coming in, possibly bringing severe weather in parts of the deep south, and some winter weather there in the northeast with a nor'easter actually possible as we get into the beginning of January. If you go on to enjoy this video and find it informative, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're always notified when I next upload. Now let's get into things. Now on to the high temperature portions of things here today. The southeast is expected to be very warm today with temperatures in the mid 70s to upper 80s across portions of Texas as well. And one thing you will notice as we go on that this area is a repeat offender when it comes towards having very above average anomalies here in portions of the southern Oklahoma and northern Texas region here, right in this kind of corridor. More on that later. Down here in the southeast, like I said, portions, across maybe Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, temperatures are going to be in the mid to upper 60s, maybe to the mid to upper 70s down here along the coastline. Further north here, temperatures are expected to be in the mid to upper 30s to mid to upper 40s here across many portions of Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, so on and so forth. And out here in the northwest, temperatures are expected to stay at around freezing or way below here, especially as you get into portions of Canada. Wow, negative 19 degrees right there, the 2-meter air temperature, and that is our high today. That is at like 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Maybe even peaking for other portions here in parts of Canada and the Northwest. Now, as we go on towards tomorrow here, that is where things get interesting because we start to have this kind of polar plunge pattern really start to take place and dip into portions of the Northwest here with temperatures staying in the negatives at the peak point of the day here in parts of the extreme Northwest in Canada, also making the freezing line making its way here to portions of the North. With some places in the Northeast even seeing freezing or way below, and portions of the Southeast once again seeing those mid to upper 70s, and out here in the West, we're seeing those freezing temperatures on higher elevations with temperatures outside of higher elevations kind of sticking around 40 degrees or so. And now for precipitation side of things here, we're going to go ahead and head back towards today, and kind of at the peak part of the day here, a lot of snow is expected here throughout portions of the Northwest as we are getting that low pressure kind of pulling moisture off the Pacific here and getting that polar plunge really starting to take place. That pattern is going to be pretty notable here for producing some very good mountain snow and some very good overall low level snow here across portions of the Northwest, and that will kind of make its way across to the east, as you will notice as we go on towards tomorrow here. And that is where we have that low pressure really start to eject towards the northeast, bringing the polar plunge down to the southeast, not to the southeast of the US, but southeast down towards, Minnesota, Missouri, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, so on and so forth. So it's going to be a pretty notable pattern here. We're going to have back-to-back ejecting low pressures here that are going to kind of help some very high snow accumulations throughout the next several days. And if we kind of even look kind of farther in the future, you see what I'm talking about right there, just back-to-back active low pressure patterns here, and that is going to give us the chance for severe weather. As originally noted, the possibility was available on the 29th, but it's kind of been sticking around to the fact that we might see that kind of on the 1st or 2nd, as this low pressure right here that once was a part of the low pressure in Colorado, as that kind of ejects and meets with this moisture return here in the instability being brought up through the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to kind of meet here at the center point near Kentucky. And I know a lot of people in Kentucky are probably pretty worried. If you're listening to this, I don't think the threat is going to be as extreme as last time. I do think the threat for tornadoes is possible on the 2nd, but it is still around 6 days or so it's still really hard to evaluate the certain threats. But I hope everything all is well in terms of recovery, and I hope everything is going well overall there. And yeah, so it's going to be a very very active pattern, and that's something that we're going to have to take into account on. I mean, this is only the 2nd, and I'll even play some of the more frames for you guys here, but there is a pretty decent chance that we are going to have an active pattern here. You guys can see just many low pressure ejections here, bringing snow to parts of the north here, and then potentially, signaling some severe weather squalls here down in the south. All is pretty hard to forecast, especially when you're looking at 282 hours out, but it is just something to kind of look at the trends here and see that we are going to have a very, very active, low pressure pattern here, with many lows just driving across the US thanks to that La Nina pattern. And due to the fact that we do have that severe weather risk here on the 29th, I am going to kind of read and highlight some of the things that the SPC has issued based on this latest outlook here. So the discussion here is for the Mississippi and Alabama region right here. Deep Gulf moisture will be in place much across the southeast by Wednesday morning. Both the operational European model and GFS along with the GEFS show mid-60 dew points to the Tennessee border and upper 60 dew points in the southern half of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. A mid-level shortwave is forecast to be somewhere near the Four Corner Central High Plains of the region by 12Z Wednesday. Very important thing to highlight here because timing is going to be everything when it comes to this threat. And move into the Great Lakes region by 12Z Thursday. 0Z European has trended less amplified with a mid-level flow, and thus has has a much weaker or non-existent surface feature along the front, which more closely resembles the last several runs of the GFS. So, nonetheless, convection is expected in a prefrontal convergence zone across Mississippi and Alabama, where moderate buoyancy and strong deep layer shear. Organized severe storms are likely on Wednesday afternoon into the overnight hours and portions of Mississippi and Alabama. And a very important word there is overnight hours. I mean, that's really the deadliest threat you could possibly ask for is, even if you're in a slight risk, the fact that it is going to occur overnight when A, you're sleeping, B, you're unprepared, or C, you're even caught off guard thanks to those factors. So I need everyone to be safe. Stay tuned to the page, subscribe if you enjoyed, turn on post notifications, and yep. All right, everybody, you have a great day. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. If you guys are celebrating today with other family, Merry Christmas. Everybody take care. Happy holidays. See you next time.